What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So my mind, of course, has been on this main TV display since we are most likely going to be, boxing up Medusa today. The way the person wants to buy it is they sent me money for Medusa. They want me to ship her, make sure she arrives and in decent condition. I did tell them, hey, it's going to break. You're going to have to glue it. And then Mummy would be next. And Mummy would be, the bulk of the money, like $3,000. But if they're sold, we already have a buyer for Anubis. We would need to sell Cyclops, and it's going to change the look of this display. And I've been thinking up a few different ideas. Typically, I don't like mixing 1/4 and 1/3. So, I kind of have a problem doing Reaper there and having Alita and Khaleesi and Game of Thrones there. It bugs me. That's why I liked having Mummy and Medusa, because everything's scaled appropriately down low, all 1/4. It looks good. Mythological creatures. It fits my theme. So that's one reason, I'm just like, should I really sell them? But we got to think about what we could do selling them, not only with the money, but with the space. So, one thing's for sure, in this room we have a lot of ECC. ECC is my favorite. They're one of my favorites without a doubt. So we are considering, of course, the ECC Hellboy line, as well as just like making this whole TV area, more all similar themed. I don't think Alita theme's good. Game of Thrones, not necessarily. I don't think I could sell. I could never sell Khaleesi bust or Khaleesi 1/4 unless we get J&D Khaleesi. But I think I could part ways with Alita, Jon Snow, Night King. But if I wanted to make this theme perfectly, I have a few ideas. Now, here's what this would look like if we do, let's say, Hellboy and not Predator over there. I may switch these two, but basically you pair Blade with Selene, PCS, have those two how they are currently, and then you'd keep this as is. And then we, right here, throw Hellboy bust, which would work really good right here, simply due to the angle of his face. He would be looking directly at me. Abe, we could angle like that, Hellboy like that. I think this would work good. So that is one option. Now, the other option is this. If we want things to be more appropriately themed and scaled, you basically move Pan's Labyrinth over here. That whole display. This is all Guillermo del Toro, so I think that's theme-wise, scaling-wise, all ECC works perfect. So that would work really good. You could throw Red Sonja and Vampirella because they're all 1/3. Vampire, Snake, fits the theme. And then this stays the same. So I think this could work really good as well. Like, this definitely works. Technically, I would have space for one extra piece as well. I could always pair Victor up in here, or, there's definitely an option. But I think this theme's really good. Now, of course, this does create the space problem. This also helps me in several other ways, which I'll explain, but this does create the space problems for Alita, Game of Thrones. We would have to move Khaleesi bust and Khaleesi. That is definitely a move, not a sell, but I could sell everything else. I do love the Alita a ton, and she would definitely be the second one I would want to keep, is basically that display and just sell that. There's only a few areas this could go good. Game of Thrones would fit good in my Lord of the Rings room. The only spot that would go good is where I have all my Transformers underneath Monsterverse, but I really don't want to sell them. They have terrible resale value. They're a big pain in the butt to sell, and they're also all amazing, so I don't necessarily want to sell them. Now, if we don't get the T-Rex in, I could throw, at a minimum, Khaleesi and Alita here in the middle room, and Prime 1 Predator. There's also another option. I don't know if it would fit. It would definitely fit if we got J&D instead of this one. But, if we remove them and Pan's Labyrinth, I could absolutely, I would want to make this more true horror. Because obviously Pan's Labyrinth is not true horror. It's a fantasy movie. But they're cool looking creatures, so it fits the theme in general. But let's just say we moved Chucky to where Pan's is right now. And then we'd have it all side by side. It would, look better than it does now, or now it's very congested. You can see everything, but it'd work better in a 48-inch wide shelf. For sure. I could definitely fit like Alita there, but Khaleesi right here, she needs that true 48 inches wide right now. Like, look at that. She fills that up good. So if you were to do it here, it's like, first off, it'd be 1/4 up here instead of 1/3, which would bug me. And it would not fit. So it just would not work good there, unfortunately. However, let's say we put that aside. Let's just say we don't worry about that over here. But right here, we could throw Pennywise and Nun. That fits perfectly. We would have space for Candyman 1/3 and Chucky. And then basically this wall from right here all the way to right here is true horror. No non-horror collectibles. Because Gremlins is considered a horror movie. So Chucky would be here. You could do, obviously, Candyman. We could probably even sell that 1/4 Pumpkinhead, upgrade to the 1/3. Then you'd do Annabelle, Nun, Pennywise 1/3, Pennywise Bust. Then you could make this all AVP, which there's kind of a few options. Obviously, I could technically throw Prime 1 Predator on this wall, but it looks super out of scaled. I put it the other day just next to the big chap, next to the Aliens FX bus. It definitely looked out of scale. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit on this shelf. You'd have to bring the shelf forward if you wanted to do it right here. You'd need to bring it forward to at least right here. If you just wanted to throw Prime 1 Predator top shelf here. Part of me is, I know I made a Prime 1 Predator video, but part of me almost just wants to forego that line. It's just so expensive. The boxes are so many. It's a big pain of a line to collect for several reasons. The boxes, the bad resale value, the scaling, the price, extremely expensive. If we want to keep AVP all similar in scale, we could just spread out this display into here to look a little bit better. That display realistically should not have that alien bust. That alien bust could go right there, and these three could just be spread out better. That would sort of fix that. I almost think I could also do Wolf Predator Bust and Wolf 1/3 right there, simply because, it has much better lighting, and Wolf 1/3 is one of my favorite 1/3s. I don't like it in the corner. I think if I was to put something in the corner, technically I could throw this Prime 1 hanging dead body. But if you did move Wolf, you obviously have space here. One thing you technically could do, we sell Prime 1 Predator 1/3 and buy the 1/4. And do the 1/4 next to this in that corner. You do that on that glass shelf and do the 1/4 Prime 1 there. And then Wolf display is moved over there, and this you just spread out. You'd still have a Prime 1 Predator, just one that scales better in this setup and obviously matches the tree victim better. I would have it display masked, pretty much exclusively. This one I mostly do masked as well, simply because Cinema Cat's always the unmasked. I keep Wolf unmasked. So I like to have the Prime 1 Predator masked. So I'd do the same thing with the 1/4 version. I really love this one. I also think the 1/4 is fantastic. It's a different pose, obviously, than the Cinema Cat, where this one's very similar. But the 1/4 Prime 1 would work good. You basically put the tree where Wolf 1/3 is, and the Prime 1 1/4 where the, bust is. I think that could work. We also technically could get the Infinity Studios City Hunter. If you keep this as is right there, you could technically throw the City Hunter 1/4 next to this, Berserker 1/4. They're the same company, same scaling. That could absolutely work. Of course, it wouldn't take up that whole display. It'd basically take up as much as Annabelle, so there would be space extra. You could display a prop or a mask. I wouldn't necessarily want to get I could get another alien statue. The only other one I'd consider is, I really like the tusked alien. That thing's sick. The tusked one by Prime 1. Also, there's the XM other 1/3 one that's really cool. But so in this kind of idea, you basically convert this to true AVP and all similar scaling, no Prime 1 1/3. We just do the smaller 1/4, which is basically 1/3, and it matches the Hunter victim much, much better. Much, much better. Although we also do have the deep tail bust, so I could technically forego the Prime 1 1/4 and just do the deep tail bust in Aliens FX. Have both busts in the display, one masked, one unmasked. You know, that obviously works. Although, here's another idea. Wait for this, folks. So, what if we do XM Alien right there? Wolf Predator here. XM Alien at that angle looks good down low. And it'd fill up this entire display. You could just throw some eggs around it. You do that. Then you put that City Hunter victim in the corner with the Prime 1 1/4. The Aliens FX right here. And you do deep tail right next to it. We'll boost it slightly so it's the same height as Alien FX, but we'll have it masked. So in essence, you would have the Prime 1 masked 1/4 and Hunter victim with the deep tail bust into the unmasked Aliens FX with Cinema Cat. And we could also do it reverse. We could do deep tail here, Aliens FX here, masked, and deep tail unmasked. You know, whatever one goes with Cinema Cat needs to be unmasked. You know, so whichever one I like more is what I would do. You know, like if I prefer the sculpt and the inner detail on the Aliens FX, you know, and I've pretty much kept this unmasked because I do really like the paint up, like the way he did the dot pattern. The eyes are glass eyes that look really well done. The teeth look good. The dots look great. It's fantastic. You know, it's really well done. So I've kept this one pretty much unmasked the whole time. The mask does look good, but the shape is slightly off. Where the deep tail, I think the shape is a little bit better. And I think the mask is higher quality. But I also think the deep tail unmasked portrait is insanely good. But that would basically give me like the ultimate jungle hunter setup where you have a 1/4 with the victim and masked and a masked bust. God, this sounds really sick. I just thought up this idea doing the video. Honestly, I do a lot of things in the video. But that does sound really cool. You'd have two back-to-back Predators, masked and unmasked setup. And then AVP right there, horror. So in this, you know, sense, we would, I know someone once mentioned to me of potentially trading this for the 1/4. I would need cash extra, and I'd have to sell the closed mouth bust if I considered it. I mean, technically, yes, I could just throw this one over there. It just looks out of scale, where the 1/4 version would go better, I think. But, so let's say we did that. All AVP, all true scaling. And then this, you got the Hellboy and whole thing. So, obviously, this idea I'm coming up with, which really solidifies each wall to be one true theme. You have a Terminator theme. You have a vampire and creatures theme. AVP wall, horror wall. Because right now, horror is overlapping into the AVP wall. You know, realistically, this should be Wolf 1/3, Wolf bust. XM Alien. Hellboy, I do want to get, and I think it would go great there. We could obviously move Pans and Chucky, put Red Sonja and Vampirella. Being underneath right there, woodwork still good, simply because I sit on the couch and I could see it good. The biggest problem with doing this whole idea is what to do with Kesi. Kesi. I will never sell her. She is like, you know, one of my favorite busts in my entire collection. I would never sell her. I really would love to get her top shelf, to be honest. You know, I hate having her down low. If we could somehow get her top shelf, that would be magnificent. I also think this is one of the best 1/4s ever made. She's also one of the best busts. Like, they're so beautiful. But obviously they can't go to the Marvel room. They can't go, I mean, technically I could do Kesi in the bathroom, but I'm not doing her there. Jupiter's cock. There's no space in the video game room. It also just wouldn't fit theme-wise. There realistically is, Alexa, turn on Man Cave. There's only one way Kesi and Alita could work, and it's in this room. Now, Alita doesn't need a super deep shelf, but Kesi does. Right here's the only way. Right here. You basically do Alita 1/4, Alita bust, Kesi 1/4, Kesi bust, Jon Snow Night King. So that would mean selling off Starscream, Megatron, Optimus, Lockdown, Optimus, and Galvatron. Yeah, that would be difficult. A, resell. B, boxing everything up. Would give me a good amount of box space. It'd put Transformers only on this wall and only have one Optimus, one Megatron, no Starscream, and he's the right-hand man of Megatron, so I really don't like not having a Starscream. You know, I would prefer if I could keep Starscream. You know, he is one I would prefer to keep. I also really like this Optimus. It's just really cool. They basically had that statue in the movie. I think it was the gold version by Prime One in the movie. And I was like, man, that is so cool. I do think theme-wise Game of Thrones fits. Alita, a little bit, not as much. Game of Thrones definitely fits theme-wise in this room. Other than that, there's no other spot we could realistically put Kesi. Like, she needs a 24-inch deep garage shelf. Now, if you wanted to get her top shelf, like true top shelf, I think I could probably fit her where you have this. You know, like if you, I don't know where I could move Balrog, but realistically, you probably could fit Kesi Bus and Kesi 1/4 top shelf here and Alita down low. That is a potential option. You see, once you're at a collection of my size and there's just so little space, it definitely becomes difficult when you want more pieces or you want to like do something, because then you have to sell stuff you really don't want to sell, you know? So it definitely is a difficult matter. You know what I mean? We got the Hulkbuster, which you couldn't fit Kesi and Kesi Bust in that spot. No, you could fit just Kesi Bust, but not the Kesi 1/4, not Alita. So I'm definitely in a tricky situation. I do really like the idea of solidifying each wall to be a true theme. You know, realistically for this, all you need to do is either do the Prime 1/3 or get the 1/4. It fit better theme-wise, less boxes or smaller boxes, cheaper. You get that. It pairs with that Hunter Victim. You throw it there in the corner. And we could probably just throw that Jungle Hunter poster right where that wolf mask is, cover the nail hole and move the wolf mask right here. Hunter Victim, boom, boom. 2 Jungle Hunter busts. This would work really good, I think. I need to Photoshop this shiz. I only Photoshopped this. I didn't Photoshop the horror wall. You know, I don't have to get Pumpkinhead 1/3, but you need like Candyman to go with Pumpkinhead if you want to keep it all true horror. I need to rewatch that movie, but other options? Anyways, folks, this is just Flankster thinking in the moment. Part of me wants to just keep this, return everything to the way it was. Put Prime 1 Predator right here in the middle room. You know, but I do really like this idea of solidifying each wall to be one true theme. I like that. I think the walls look better. You know, I think, you know, like my other rooms do that if you think about it. You know, like this wall is pure, it ends really here is how I consider ending, but Trinity, you know, my girl wall, and then remaining Justice League, you got the Marvel wall, and then from here to here, you got the Dark Knight, and then XS 1/3. So it definitely fits. You know, you got Jurassic, DBZ, my Transformers, my Lord of the Rings. This is the one room where things are bleeding into each other. You know, Chucky obviously fits right here. You don't have to put him over there. He obviously fits here. The only reason I would want to do it is to spread him out so you could see it better. You know, and we're trying to move the whole Pennywise display, and Pennywise just obviously fits perfect right here. It's the exact same shelf, but it's slightly wider. Definitely something to consider. I could theoretically throw Vampirella and Red Sonja right there. that obviously fits. Anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think. Flankster's just throwing out some ideas here. We have the Predator option, which here's another problem I have with the Predator. It's repeat same characters. We're duplicating Berserker, Jungle Hunter, Wolf. The only one we're technically adding that's a new character is Scar, but it's still like the same species. It's like adding a different mark of Iron Man. I don't need every Iron Man mark costume. I already have enough. I got like 4 different marks, so I don't necessarily need more Predator. I am very happy with my current setup. And I think adding the Prime 1/4 with the Deep Tail bust would go magnificent in that corner. Especially doing the Hunter Victim where Wolf is at, just because this isn't a piece that's like, Wolf is a far better piece. He deserves better lighting. That is one reason I installed this whole thing. So boom. So we get better lighting. But still, if it's over there, it's far better lighting. Anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.